Okay, everyone, so let's go ahead and dive in. I call this meeting to order. I would like to acknowledge that we rest on the traditional homelands of the Puyallup people, where they make their homes and speak the Lachute Seed language. The first thing on our agenda is open discussion. So I think we have to do that before I motion to approve the agenda, right?
Yes, sir.
Cecily's entrances are open discussion. Hi. How's everyone doing? I think we kind of had open discussion, but
We have
pretty good. Okay. Well, why don't I motion to approve the agenda for this meeting, so I'll call for a second, right?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All oppose? And the motion passes. Okay, so do we have minutes from the January meeting?
They were attached to the packet.
Oh, they're down here. Yep. Okay, I got it.
So page
Okay.
2 and then the notes, the ancillary notes, like to-do notes and improvements to the special events funding process. That's your packet.
Right, yeah, okay. So I motion to approve the minutes from the January meeting that should be attached to everyone's agenda. Do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All oppose? The motion passes. Okay, so for chair comments, obviously the chair is not here, so I don't know how much I have to offer on this specific agenda item, but Kala, have you been in touch with Jessica today to hear about what she might want to be in on? This is maybe the appropriate time. She sent me a few bullet points, so I'll just share
Fabulous.
what I've heard. She wanted to discuss, and we don't have to discuss it today, but we could put this on the agenda for next time, representation at community events for CERC. So like the Lincoln Food Walk has given CERC a table at no cost for their events. And this would basically just give our group some representation in the community so we can talk about awards and special funding and things like that. So I think I'd probably like Jessica to weigh in a little bit on that piece, but I wanted to put it on everyone's radar.
And they have three different dates that they're doing their food walk. So I don't know if they're giving a table for each of those events, but and I've been working on that calendar of all the events that are funded and other event opportunities that may not be funded, but might have the ability to provide a table at no cost or cost. Yeah. Okay.
Is there, well, maybe we can ask, is there anyone who would be willing to table once we firm up those dates? If anyone is interested to volunteer at those. I mean, I think obviously it depends on time and availability, but maybe we can take this time to take a temperature of who would be willing to participate.
Yeah, I'm definitely willing to and excited about taking on at least a few, like a couple of those. I might not necessarily be able to do like all of them.
Not all 23 that we're funding.
But yes, I would absolutely be happy to help with some of that.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacob.
Oh, for sure.
And I could totally mimic that comments when available.
I will third that.
Right on.
Writing your names down. Thank you so much. That's going to be really helpful.
And fun.
And fun, yeah, for the visibility of this group. I mean, in the time that I've been here, we haven't had the opportunity to do that, partly because of COVID. Right. Exactly. So I appreciate all of your willingness to represent the group, and I'm sure that Jessica does too. So Kala, I'm not sure about the logistics of that. Will we have some opportunities to offer next month? at our meeting?
So probably before that, because I'm
Okay.
working on it and it's not going to take me very long because, I mean, I already have the funded events in a list form with some either hard and fast or tentative dates,
Okay,
right? And then anything else beyond that, what I do is I just keep an updated calendar, which I can share
okay.
online.
Are there any of those coming up before March 15th? Or March whichever?
It would be the
You know, it
15th
would be
because
the
it's
15th.
mimicking this month, right? So it's 28
Oh, 'cause
days.
it's
in the
28
break.
days exactly. Yeah.
I believe there is something that's an opportunity. Talk amongst yourselves while I look
Okay.
at something.
Maybe Calla, can we ask you to maybe just send out an email between now and then to see if
Yep.
you know who might be able to attend, and then we can just respond via email.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, if we have a shared Google Calendar with all of those on it, we can coordinate through there who is going to which, and even possibly like for how long, if we want to do like shifts. that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Do all that with the calendar.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that that's great. Like I said, I think this is a new endeavor for us for the
Sorry.
last few
Do you
years. So I
have
think we
the
can
map?
make it whatever we want. Sorry, Kelly, did you say something? Oh, she's on the phone.
Okay, hold on. I'm not
We're having
seeing
some
you on the
technical
list.
Are we waiting for a staff member or something?
Let me resend you your panelist link, okay? Cecily? Oh, let me resend you your panelist link right this second, okay? All right, bye. She's in some waiting room somewhere,
Oh, maybe
but
she's
it's not the right one.
is she waiting to make a public comment?
No, she wasn't even in there. I don't know where she is.
Oh,
So
weird.
I'm just gonna resend it really quick. Just hang in there, guys. You know how this is. You know how this rolls.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, I think I'll share with the committee. Jessica also wanted me to share that she's received a ton of positive feedback and praise about MLK Day, particularly with backstage smoothness and coordination and the high energy stuff. So I think that we should take a moment to really celebrate this group's effort for that. I think, I think it was a smashing success, and I'd love to hear your thoughts or any feedback that you have lingering after coming off that event, which I think is probably our first event as a group.
I think it went great. That's a tremendous shout out for Keone. Good work
Yeah, good work, Keone.
back there.
Yeah, and there was a lot of energy and enthusiasm that we've heard about the outreach fair, which is also great. Especially when, sometimes long events like that can be challenging when there's a fair and then there's a program, and then it can easily become monotonous, but I really appreciate everyone's time and effort to make that really smooth. And I've also heard positive feedback from the mayor, so we should all celebrate that.
Yeah. Any discussion or thoughts? And Jessica's not here, but I know I've talked to her about this in the past, and maybe looking at a way to expand so that you have an outreach fair on one day and the event on another day, and it doesn't necessarily have to coincide exactly, but in the spirit of MLK and the spirit of that community outreach fair. I know that it attracts a lot of people to it because of the MLK event, but it's so short and it's so popular.
It's really only an hour or so.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Parting shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as you all will come to realize, when we're done with City of Destiny Awards, we'll probably start talking about MLK again.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems to be the way it rolls.
Mhm.
One thing that I'll also share is the opportunity to find sponsorship opportunities to offset costs for using the Pantages for City of Destiny Awards. I don't have any further notes on that item, but it's probably something that we should just start thinking about because you know, I think using the Pantages is expensive. I don't know what that looks like specifically, but sponsorship opportunities always help regardless.
Yeah, I think it was about $9,000
Mhm.
just for the space, not including the food and other expenses like Jennifer's fee and that sort of thing. So, and then I do have the City of Destiny Award location brainstorming under subcommittees.
Oh, okay.
So that might be a good place to delve into that a little bit deeper.
Okay, awesome. I think that's all I have for chair comments. So can we move to staff updates?
Yes. The very first one is the final vote on the, no, sorry, that was from last time. I forgot to delete it, you guys. There's
I was wondering
change
about
to
that.
the
I was like, did
agenda.
we- okay.
I was wondering, okay, yeah.
Okay, I have an email from, I have an email from Gerald, but Tammy, do you have anything you'd like to share with the group?
Hey, Calla. No, I don't. And I'm apologize. I didn't realize Gerald wasn't going to make it, but I don't know if Brian, do you have something you wanted to pass on Gerald's behalf?
Yeah, it was the same updates Callie was going to mention, but I can mention them to save Callie some talking time.
Thank you. That was good.
Let's see. Gerald is working on the community events and recognition spotlight. He will give an update soon, and it will be posted to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. He's also working on the City of Destiny Awards, and will be working on a social media campaign, and is planning to loop in our newest marketing intern, River Nichols from Tacoma School of the Arts, to help with that social media campaign for City of Destiny Awards. And then he was wondering if any events should be promoted on the Tacoma Venues and Events socials. So he's going to ask the CERC members, do you guys have anything that you would like posted?
I think he should probably be added to that calendar then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the very first one I know of is gonna be the Tupac event.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Cecily.
Welcome. Sorry for all the technical difficulties and frustrations. It's no fun.
Oh, it's okay. I've had a day already. I'm so sorry. I thought I was gonna be cool and come into the meeting in person finally, and I obviously don't know where it is because I went to the Tacoma Municipal Building.
No, it's
And-
here. It's here. You just don't know
Oh.
what door, probably.
Oh, probably not. It's all good. I'm gonna park outside of the thing, and then I'm just gonna be on the phone because
That's
I'm tapped
fine.
out now.
No, you're fine. So the very first thing on the that I know of that's happening besides Cecily's event, which I think you had this weekend, or is it this coming weekend?
It's on Sunday, hence the
It's this
flyers being
Sunday.
put out. Yes.
Oh,
I heard the council is doing there's a talk as well by one of our council
Yes!
members.
Council member, yep, Kiara Davis is going to be speaking.
Daniels?
Oh,
Daniels?
excuse me, Daniels,
Daniels
yes, will be
Porter.
speaking. Super excited to have her join us. So that will be awesome.
Is this anything that you want representation from the committee besides yourself to attend? I don't know
Ooh.
if it's I mean, it's kind of short notice, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Hey, listen, if anyone would like to attend, you are more than welcome to. I hadn't even thought about that.
I know, because you've been planning an event.
Right? But that's amazing. I mean, if you would like to join, or if anyone would like to join, please let me know and I can send you over those details. Yeah, and we can go from there. I think that'd be awesome. I think Jessica, it will be there. I think she's bringing some youth from her life, and then like some other friends maybe, I think, who are interested in just learning a little bit more about Girls Hearts on Fire. So excited to have any and all who would like to come out and take a peek and support. So
Right on.
That's great. I heard Councilmember Daniels is very excited to be there. So I heard that on a
Yeah.
call earlier today.
Yeah, and we'll have we have a videographer who will be on site getting her speaking, and then we also have like youth who are performing, and 92.5 will be out spitting some jams for the kids afterwards. After their dinner, they can dance and hang out.
Oh, hey, they got media coverage, Tammy.
Working on it.
That's great. Yeah.
All right, so Tupac event, there's a Tupac event is where we kind of left it with Gerald posting on social media and then being added to the calendar.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that one is this week, this month as well. And oh, it's right here. Let's see what else is happening.
Okay, well,
Okay,
no worries. We're all in the same office. I'm sure we'll
We'll
get it
get-
going.
we'll get it going. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Let's see, what's the other staff updates? We just talked about TVE, the social media update, special highlights, improvements to special event funding program.
Oh, yeah, so special highlights was under the TVE marketing, and it was something that Jacob had brought up last time, and I wanted to find out if you put any more thought into this. If you haven't, that's okay, but I think it might be a conversation maybe with Gerald, myself, and maybe Brian, where you wanted to see if we could highlight some of those community members that aren't receiving the awards. So this is something we can do over the whole rest of the year. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
done right away. But we have a lot of information about a lot of people, and it would be nice, like you said, to highlight them in social media and maybe pick a different neighborhood each, or community group, community area each month or something like that. So,
Yes.
so it's, Volunteer Awareness Day in March, Volunteer Awareness Day in April, May, June, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly the idea.
That's- okay.
And we use the lists of prior nominees, both from this year and previous years, because I'm sure that there's just a giant database.
Just a few.
Yeah, right. So I think that there's a real backlog of community members who have made an impact that CERC is aware of, that we can start to celebrate consistently.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we want to do a meeting again like this week or next week.
Yep. See if we can put something together. Brian, would you be willing to brainstorm with us? And we'll see what Gerald's schedule is like.
Sure.
Okay. And then the last item is improvements to the special event funding program. And I attached on the very last page of the agenda packet, our little brainstorm that we had right after the selection of the awardees. So these are based on comments, Jacob, that you had or that you sent sent to me afterward. I know it's probably not all inclusive. It's kind of my brain dump, but I wanted to talk a little bit. Tammy suggested we do it while it's still a little bit fresh in our minds, even though we've already moved on to City of Destiny Awards. But how we can improve this process and make it more accessible, less barriers to the community groups that want to put these events on and want to seek funding. So if you look through those things, so you already covered the create community impact scoring template by bringing up the fact that you have some materials from Tacoma Creates.
Yes, which I have now shared with you. So
Okay.
they use an extremely similar rubric for their funding to the rubric laid out by CERC, which is about impact, equity and access, and I think there's community served.
Okay.
Those three things are all part of Tacoma Creates as well. So I've shared with Kala a Dropbox folder that has those matrix from Tacoma Creates in it.
that, I mean, I don't know if we want to throw them up on the screen, if that's what we're doing right now, but basically for my part of this, what really stuck out to me was kind of some of the ambiguity around scoring for merit, especially, and impact, especially. And so having something that we can share with the applicants, well, I think will also make your life a little bit easier, your successor's life a little bit easier. In that we could point to, like, here's the score that you received based on these like 3 separate rubrics that are all graded on a gradient, so that we can really clarify where yeses and nos are coming from. So that I have sent over.
Okay.
I think this is something that I would like to do I would like to head up as a subcommittee over the next month or so. Putting together both kind of reworking this Tacoma Creates and then putting together some kind of proposal packet for the for CERC. Not like here's a process. I mean, I hate to say process, but like here's some definitions.
Okay.
Definitions and processes that we can deploy. And I'd like to, hopefully by the time we come back around to the next funding cycle, which would be end of this year, right? We'd have all that stuff fully dialed in and distributed. So probably in the summertime, right? Because we want to let it.
Summertime, because what we're recommending as staff is that it should go out. It should be open during September and closed at the beginning of October, so that you're making decisions or you're deliberating those awardees beginning of October, and you can vote on it mid-October, and then we can announce to all of those awardees before the end of the year. Because what happened this last time around was that it all balled up with vacations, holidays. There was one other, and everybody got sick from COVID.
Oh, right.
At some time or another, or got sick somehow. And so moving it earlier in the year is just a much better place to be.
Okay, then
Right.
I'll put a target date on that, of having that done by the end of April, like calendar end of April. Maybe we might bring it up in the March and April meetings, but we'll have something we can like vote on, solidify, and make to give people time.
And do you want somebody else on that subcommittee with you, or you want to work on it independently, or?
I'm happy to accept anyone who's willing to help out. Otherwise, I'm happy to do it by myself.
So this is an ad hoc kind of committee, not an ongoing subcommittee, unless.
No, it's a project.
Yeah, it's a project. So if anybody else is interested, maybe express that to either Jacob directly or to me, if you're interested.
No need to go on this.
This is Cecily. I was interested in joining. Jacob, I'd love to join you in thought partner.
All right.
Partner. Yeah,
We're talking about this is the funding rubric and everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to be in there.
Okay.
Cool.
Kala, do we need any kind of motion to create a subcommittee, or?
I think that's a good idea. I have it already on. I added it to the agenda. Add special event funding and nominee processes subcommittee.
All right. Do I need to
I could
make
make a motion to move forward with the committee.
I'll second that.
Mhm.
Mr. Second today.
I just wanted to open up because I don't want to like do all the motions. So.
For sure.
Right?
It's
You
good
want
to
any-
have other people motion.
Any other discussion, or do you want to ask for a vote?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? The motion passes. Thank you, Jacob and Cecily and Brian and everyone who's going to be involved in that. I think that's going to be really fun to see play out.
Huh.
Okay, so anything else on staff updates?
Well, I just wanted to go down the list really quick on the other improvements, like being clear about the budget, only include what the event cost will be. Tammy's suggestion was that we make them use the matrix that we provide to them instead of getting P&Ls and, you know, all these other different formats so that it's fair and equitable from each of the applicants for the funding. Indicate the size of the event, small, medium, large, I guess. We can talk some more about that. Oh, I already have Jacob volunteers to create the matrix. Let's see, that we were talking about no series allowed. Like, in other words, this is an event, like a single event or a weekend event, that kind of thing. So that's just a question. It's not a hard and fast. New restrictions or requirements regarding resource fairs. Those were ones that just fell to the bottom of the list because they didn't seem to be meeting the spirit of the way the funding was designed. So being clear about what those requirements are and what the funding, you know, is trying to support. And then we already talked about changing the date. So that's the list I have so far. I'm sure there are other thoughts, but Brian and Tammy, if you have anything you want to add, since you were involved as well, or Hillary is on the line as well. She have to type in something, I think.
Calla, just one thing to mention is that we changed the post-event recap to more align with what we're asking for in the application. So I don't know if the CERC members have seen that, but I think that would be a good thing for them to review as well. And I don't think that will not have been sent out yet. So if there were some suggestions for changes there, we could make those too.
Oh, great idea. Okay. I'll send it to 3 at a time.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Calla.
And that is all I have for staff reports.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else on staff reports, I think we can move to subcommittees, yeah?
Yeah.
So the first one obviously is City of Destiny Awards. And we were originally going to talk about awards today, but it sounds like we haven't had a chance to actually get that committee together. So, two things on my mind is what is like our deadline, which I'm sure is like yesterday, but what is our stretch timeline? And I have Calla and I talked and we have an idea for a motion, but let's first talk about when we need to have everything nailed down.
Okay. Well, I wish Jennifer were here because she'd have some better ideas for me, but here's how it works. We typically give Jennifer about 2 months to pull everything together for the new awardees, hoping that there are 10 and not 20 of them. That we need to cap it at 10, and that's purely a matter of logistics and how much time it takes for her to pull in all of those assets, photographs, and stories, and interview that each of the awardees, and then we turn all of those assets over as we collect them into a Google Drive for TV Tacoma. And TV Tacoma hopefully has already assigned somebody to work on this project since the previous producer has retired. So they then work on it. So that's, let's see. So it'll be March, middle of April by the time, maybe probably end of April, that she'll have. And then they spend about a month putting everything together. Honestly, it's a lot of work for them. So that's what it looks like. And the event is typically in early to mid-June.
Yeah.
So.
Do we have, I apologize, I missed the last discussion, but do we have a formal chair for this subcommittee?
No, we don't have a formal chair.
Okay, so my thinking is this, we should probably pull together a special meeting within the next week, week and a half at the latest. And maybe we can have someone just for paperwork. I don't know, Cal, your thoughts about this, because I think we should have at least one person lead the subcommittee.
Okay,
And leading the subcommittee can just be as simple as sending out the email and reminding people to attend at 4 o'clock on this day or whatever. But that at least helps us organize. And then I think the question for this group is whether or not we want to pass a vote of confidence for that subcommittee to just select the winners, or if we want to pull together a special session with all of us in the next 2 weeks. So that
you don't understand what he's asking?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Can you understand what he's asking?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cecily, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
I feel like I'd be more in favor of the vote of confidence, so you guys don't have to commit to 2 extra meetings.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that a motion?
I didn't know, open discussion, or I would move to,
You can make a
So-
motion.
I would move to create a vote of confidence for the special subcommittee to make all the awardees for CODA in their next meeting.
Awesome.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it, Cecily.
Thank you, Cecily. And all in favor?
Aye.
I
All opposed? Okay, the motion passes. There we go. That was easier than I thought. So the next steps for that is that we'll pull together the subcommittee, and I think the subcommittee is Kirsten, Jessica, me, and Jacob. Is that correct? Am I
Yeah,
reading
Jacob's an
correct?
alternate if somebody can't meet the obligation.
Because you can't have 4.
You
in
can't
there.
have 4 people at a
Can't have a
meeting at any
quorum.
time, so
Yeah.
that's why I just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kirsten, would you be willing to send out an email and kind of
sure.
loosely chair this subcommittee and get us all together?
Officially chair it so that we can write it down.
Okay.
All right.
I would love that if you'd be willing to do that.
Absolutely, no problem.
Okay.
And like, what time works better for you guys? After work, during work, like late afternoons? Do you know what works better? No? All right, I'll just pick some time.
Yeah, I mean, for me specifically, I think latter half of Wednesdays work, like just this time in general. And I think last year, if we all take the time to read through stuff, it can take 45 minutes to an hour, I think, to make to the discussion. And I believe Kala has shared Google Doc, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, I did for the 3 of you.
I tried going through it and it was too overwhelming by myself. So
I understand. It's a lot of it's a lot of nomination forms this year.
yeah, which is great. Hooray.
So how about this? And I don't know if Jennifer's gonna be very upset with me, but can we see if we can I push that to 2 weeks? Can we do like before March 1st? That
Mhm.
gives us 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. And then maybe someone can tell Jennifer and
I'll tell Jennifer.
we'll give her chocolate or something.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know she's working on another project for the mayor right now, so.
Okay.
Maybe she won't notice.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was productive. I think we're good on that then. The second item under subcommittee is the location, brainstorming and acquisition, and I think this is what we started to brush up against earlier, Callie, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. So I think, if you don't mind, I can just recall the conversation that we had at one point in time was, we've often tried to move the City of Destiny Awards around the city. And so some of the ideas that some of the places that we've used in the past, even before my time with Stadium High School, in their gymnasium kind of meeting area, which is problematic because of the sound quality and that sort of thing.
They have a giant theater there now too, though.
Do they have a theater?
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they have that theater room.
Parking is an issue in that district, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. And we're talking about 400 people maximum that usually attend this event, no matter what. I mean, it's just, that's how it always works out. It's like 250 to 400 people. We've had it at the Star Center a couple of times. We've had it at Cheney Stadium a couple of times, once outdoors. And that was great. It was great. And then, let's see. We started to go down the path of having it at Lincoln High School in 2020, but of course, COVID happened. So that's another favorite place. I know the State of the City this year is at Mount Tahoma. And so some of the benefits, and then of course we did Pantages last year. One of the benefits of being in a school or theater environment, or even like a mega church, like you were describing before, it's like, is that they have everything wired. I mean, it's all ready to go. You would think that, the Pantages had to rent some equipment, which they passed the cost along to us, and then we had to negotiate the final cost. But I think that's something to keep in mind in looking for a space to make this. Everything has gone up in costs. I mean, everything. And then the budget gets squished more and more each year a little bit, like we have less money to work with in some areas than we do in others. And so I think that having said all of that, brainstorm a little bit about where you feel would be good, but based on your experience as either event producers or people that have attended events where you felt like there was a really comfortable environment and conducive to.
Based on that list you just laid out, I think Lincoln is probably the most appropriate, or something east side, because all of that was kind of an arc around the east side Tacoma down here. So I think that's an appropriate place, an appropriate district, neighborhood to look around in.
Yeah.
Lincoln would be a strong choice. I don't know what else really is.
It's a nice amphitheater. I mean, like a nice area to do that. I've been to graduations there.
I can't even remember. I think I might have even gotten a tour of it like really early on. The challenge is that like in the past, when we've had it someplace, people could bring food into the theater, and you can't do that at Lincoln High School. So we might even consider not having food. But I mean, it's never been a huge expense, but it's something to consider.
Cater in the cafeteria.
We can cater in the cafeteria, but they can't bring anything into the theater. No drinks, no nothing. Schools are just, they have lots of rules.
For the youths.
For the youth.
Who is on that? That's
What was the question? I didn't hear it, sorry.
He was wondering if there was anybody assigned to a subcommittee for the location brainstorming and acquisition.
Nope. No, and I don't think we've ever had.
I think I need to talk to Jennifer too, because she's been in most of these places because that's her business. And so maybe it's something that she could lead a conversation about. It doesn't have to be like a full-on subcommittee. It could be a discussion, brainstorming, and then maybe a visit to a location. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that's great. I wonder if to use this time, what can we take 2 minutes to give Jennifer like 5 ideas, and then we can give that to her, and then she can come back and lead a discussion.
I would just like to propose that it take place, I'm like woefully underqualified for public event venues in Tacoma in general, but I would like to propose that it take place in East Side, particularly if they were robbed by COVID if that neighborhood was robbed by COVID of having that event.
Yeah.
So I think I'm comfortable leaving it to people more experienced and with, more familiarity with the spaces, but I would move that we try to put it in East Side.
I think that's a good, I think that's a good approach.
What else is in East Side?
Yep.
We might be limited to just LinkedIn.
I mean, I don't know. That's a legit question. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know if there, what other,
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think,
How many people normally attend this event?
huh?
How many people normally attend this event? I wasn't able to go to it
Yeah,
last year.
so it's about 250 to 400 in a good year. It just
Okay.
depends on how many people are winning awards, how many of the awards are going to groups, you know what I mean? Because it's really
Yeah,
attended by
yeah.
family members and people who are part of the same organizations, and yeah, it really depends. But I would say in my experience, that's how many we've seen, just based on the number of chairs we've had to set out and
Mhm.
that sort of thing. Some of the
Okay.
other things to consider as maybe parameters, if not, I don't want to use the word restrictions, but so we want to be doing this on a Wednesday or a Thursday, never on a Tuesday, because that's council meetings. And we have done it on a Friday before, but we find that Fridays are problematic, and it has mostly to do with traffic on Fridays.
Yeah.
And it's typically done in the evening so that as many people as possible can attend if they have regular day jobs. And then we want to avoid, and maybe Tammy or Brian can remind me, the City of Tacoma School District, Tacoma Public Schools graduation, I think is on the Tuesday and Wednesday, July like 14th and 15th or something close to that. So just because we have these youth categories, and we've oftentimes had either somebody show up in their robe and their cap and gown that went to Stadium High School or one of the other schools, and we want to make sure that we're not leaving them out. So
Yeah.
Those high school graduation dates are
Yeah.
June 13, 14, 15 for Tacoma Public Schools specifically.
okay. Thank you.
it's not in the East Side, but what about Urban Grace? It's
Oh,
downtown
yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's huge.
Yeah, you're right. I was just looking at some of those too. That was one of them that popped up. And then, oh no, that's outdoor. Never mind.
Just hesitant about downtown.
There's also some large churches on the east side, like Bethlehem, and there's one other that it's not coming to my brain right now, but it's in the McKinley district.
What about the Eastside Community Center? Are there spaces there that would be able to hold that many people? It's a
Yeah,
fairly-
they have a meeting hall. I've not been there, but according to Jennifer, it's kind of a gymnasium style meeting area.
It's not fancy. It's not,
Okay.
yeah, it certainly doesn't have the same panache as the Pantages.
Not many
about-
places will.
Not many places in Tacoma do.
Yeah.
What about the Star Center?
Yeah, we've been to the Star Center. We can look into that again. Last time we were talking to them, they had changed their, remember I told you this, Brian, they had changed their rental procedures, and they weren't doing rentals in the evenings because they had classes in that one particular room, the Tacoma room, I think. But do you want to look into that for us, since you're on one of their committees?
I mean, I just talked to them about rentals and they were open and willing to do anything, so.
Okay, cool. I like it. They're very affordable.
Helpful.
And the Star Center has the commercial kitchen, that big open commercial kitchen, so we can serve out of that.
I think one thing that I know, well, likely come up, maybe from Jennifer, or maybe from Jessica even, is that the Pantages is, I mean, it's a space that's kind of almost designed for events like this, and it's really beautiful. So I think that there will probably be discussion about how we can keep it in the Pantages. We don't have to discuss that today, but I think funding opportunities eventually will come up as an option rather than moving the event. So I offer that as something to just be thinking about. Like, we can think about other venues, and we can also think about sponsorship opportunities so we can keep it at the Pantages.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
Okay, well, how about, we don't have to come up with 5 right now, but
Got
Cal,
3.
we have 3. Awesome.
Oh, 4.
4.
There is
That's
also, I mean, I don't know how appropriate it is. This might be the one you were thinking of, the Champion Center on 72nd.
Champions.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. At the
Is
church.
that in Tacoma, or is that inside the city limits, or is that in Edgewood?
Oh, is it Portland or somewhere over there? 72nd.
No, it's on 72nd. Yeah, 72nd in Portland, but it's on the other side of Portland.
So that might be, we'd have to look at it.
Okay.
No, it's got a Tacoma address.
That's okay. That's unincorporated. Pierce County has Tacoma addresses, so
I'm
Parkland.
pretty sure that's
Stanley,
unincorporated.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure it's unincorporated because the taxes are different there when I go to that Safeway.
Oh, okay.
So probably not.
Oh,
Okay,
I know what you're talking about, though. They have a huge parking lot too.
They do. Mm-hmm.
Kitchen, like,
I mean, we could definitely check it out.
That McKinley Church, though, you were talking about too.
Okay, I'm gonna put East Side Big Old Church. How about that? Because I know there's more than one. Big Old Church.
there you go.
awesome.
Okay, so we've got some things to share with her.
Awesome. And then maybe she can do be part of a staff update or something at our next meeting.
Yep.
Awesome. That takes us to public comment. Is there anyone in the webinar that?
Well, just our other staff person, Hillary Brenner, has called in, but I don't know that she has any comments that she wants to make. Type them in the chat, Hill.
Oh, do we have it? We have a Q&A. No comments from Hillary.
Okay.
Okay, so that takes us to our last item, which is just ideas for upcoming agendas. There is one that I think we should talk about next time. Is I know that Jessica wants to incorporate honorable mentions into
Oh, yes. Mhm.
City of Destiny Awards. So can we add that to the next agenda is how we approach that? I think she'll probably want to present it and maybe have a member or two join her in presenting those.
Well, when you present the recommended list of awardees, you can also present honorable mentions at that time. So if you have time to discuss it.
Oh, okay.
Before March 1st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subcommittee Chair Kirsten, can I have you note that for our discussion? Thank you. Any other ideas for upcoming agendas?
Want to review budgets? Does sound like fun
For
City of Destiny Awards and MLK, so that you're clear about what.
yeah, do we know what those numbers are now? Does the city know that? Okay. Yeah, we should probably put that on there.
And then if I have the floor on Friday for a little bit longer than I did the last time, we had a liaison staffers meeting. So there's a committees, boards and commission staffer meeting once a month. So we have it again on this Friday. if I can get a word in edgewise, I'm gonna see if I can talk to them about County, your recommendation about having this meeting, like maybe once a quarter or something out in the
That's
community.
right.
Okay,
Ooh.
right. So I'm gonna, maybe I'll send that question to the leader of our group, and she can put it on the agenda. So hopefully I'll have some kind of, something to report. I mean, you know, they do the, they're doing this, is it this month? They're having a town hall meeting in the South End or South Tacoma, I think. So if the city council can do it,
Yeah,
just
we
saying,
can certainly do it.
make it a little easier for you guys to do it.
And if we're worried about quoruming at a special event,
Yeah.
then it's gotta make sense
Yeah.
that we could quorum anywhere.
Yeah, you can, yeah. As long as we have some way of allowing the public to participate, but as you can see. And it's to your point, you want more community engagement
Yeah.
with the group.
Mhm.
Anything else you want me to, if you have any other ideas for items for the future, I mean, certainly we're gonna have, oh, the retreat, a retreat of some type.
Oh, yeah, that's when we're going to the Seattle Marriott for 3 days,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Food court, couple of bonding experiences.
I'll
maybe
be
some
right after we
skydiving.
discuss the budget.
Yeah, can we do that before we discuss the budget? Actually, I'd like to do that first.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Good meeting.
Yeah, that's our
Awesome.
last item. Do I motion to adjourn? I think so.
You can make a motion to adjourn and ask for a second, but you don't have to vote on it, and I don't know why.
That's what I thought. I'm okay, yeah. I motion to adjourn our meeting for today. Thank you, everyone, for a good discussion. I feel like it was productive. Do I have a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Okay, awesome.
That's Mr. Second today.
Just call me second gear.
Perfect.
Going uphill, second.
All right, team,
Awesome. Okay.
break.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks,
for being-
One.
We'll be in touch.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good evening.
Too.